G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we're on Lipany and we got two of the world's best players facing off on the ranked ladder. I'm excited because we're going to get to witness a matchup that I find a difficult one. Let's get into it. Let's introduce our players. Spawning in the north of the map. Currently very exclaimed, you'll see by his name, playing as the Holy Roman Empire in the color yellow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Beauty and the Beast. He's here. I'm looking forward to seeing what we've got from him today. It's not going to be a double scout opening, at least not just yet. Going to be your standard Holy Roman Empire opening. And on the south side of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Juicy Legacy, it's 3D Cat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. An absolute pleasure to have your company. If you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, go ahead, leave a like on the video. I'll let you. And let's talk a little bit about this matchup and about why it's so fun. So, it depends exactly how these guys are going to want to play it, but I suspect that Cat is going to try and do his best to deny relics away from Beasty. If we take a look at the relic distribution at the moment, you can see he's got the one safe one, and then there's relics up towards the north, the central, and the one out towards the west side as well. So it's pretty even across the field here. If you had to give a favor to anybody, maybe you'd give it to Cat, because his run is like a little bit better towards this eastern relic out here on the edge compared to Beasty, where you kind of got to go around for it. But keep in mind he's playing the Holy Roman Empire, and I think that upon hitting, or at least clicking up to Castle Age, we would expect a prelate like this to be moving out towards this, because it is going to be harder to hit. But we do now start to see that Beasty spots out that relic as well, so he's well and truly aware of it. We've got this natural little rock formation in the middle of the map, which is quite typical for Lipany. I think, if anything, this probably favors Beasty a little bit more, because he can kind of take advantage, right? You get these nice little walls off, though. I don't know if he's going to want to take advantage of it. He's not as a defensive player as he used to be. Arkan going to be coming down here. Nice little spot he's got for it as well. Woodline, gold mine, and, of course, the town center. Now, I think the big question on everybody's mind right now is, are we going to see some of those professional scouts today? And, well, I'm excited because I suspect that we probably will. It makes a lot of sense to be doing, especially when you've got access to the Arkan, right? Like, realistically, by getting the Arkan, that's an extra 40% gather rate that you've got here. I need to double check that it's 40%. Give me a sec. They haven't nerfed it, right? Have they? Let me double... Yeah, it's 40%. We got it right. Yeah, I got to double check that it hasn't been nerfed. But anyway, 40%. And when you bring that professional scouts back in here, so instead of coming out here with, you know, 5 vills and then dropping the mill, you bring it back, you've got that extra 40%. Now, of course, you could just send a prelate out there as well, but it's rare that you're going to have that second prelate early on in the game. So that's going to be an option for him. And of course, on the side of Cat, you would be... Oh my, far out. Whoa. Okay. Meditation Gardens or Meditation Berry Gardens. I don't know which one you'll... What is this? What is this spawn, dude? Double berry bush, double... This man's not going to need to go professional scouts. He's got everything right here. What? I mean, just take the town center, move it on over. I mean, you're not playing the Mongols, so it's not going to be possible, but you get the idea, though, right? Wow. That is... When you see... resources like this is something that you really want to try and do your best to secure, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cat throw a little wall down across this side, maybe a bit of a wall across here, and just try and keep the enemy out of it. I mean, we could see professional scouts come through, and maybe he just walks away with the insanely good meditation gardens. Like, this is just absolute Giga Chad meditation gardens. Let's check in with the Beast, though. See how he's doing on the north side, as it is going to be a stable that comes down, mill as well on the berries. So everything is lining up for that professional scouts. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he does... Oh, look at this. Potentially denying away the enemy deer, of course. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a couple of horsemen out here as well, just to accompany the scouts, just to get out here, look to put some pressure on the enemy. And I'm kind of curious how Cat's going to look to play it, whether he's going to be going into professional scouts himself, or whether he goes into Iraqs, as we can see he's doing at the moment. But look at this, look at the amount of gold that he's got. You would assume that it's palace guards. Palace guards. Oh. Cat, I do like this. He's looking to hit the enemy gold with the palace guard, and this is smart, right? You could just do this with a single palace guard. That's all you really need, and that's going to force a response from the enemy. Now, to be fair, I think a single horseman's probably just going to be able to respond to it, and you do have the prelate to heal you up. But we do actually see... Does Beasty spot this out? I don't know whether Beasty spotted that out or not, but the Rax is going to be thrown down as well. There's the scouts coming out now. That's the second one, or at least that's the second scout this game. not the second scout out of the stable. That's the first scout out of the stable. Now, you might notice a little bit of a weird sensitivity issue with me today and just like the way I'm moving the camera around. And that is because I've been playing a new game. It just literally dropped. And I'm probably going to make a video on it because these guys are, you know, up-and-coming developers. And I want to, you know, I think it's important that you got to shine a light on those new developers. So the game is called The Scouring. And they've got a demo available for free right now on Steam. So I'll leave a link in the description to where you can check out that game. But it's an RTS game. It's kind of like if Warcraft 3 and Northgard got together and had a baby. That's basically what this game is. And man, I'm not kidding you, right? Like, it's one dev on the team, and the bare bones for this game are insane, bro. I'm telling you, like, it is got all. They are cooking. They are cooking. So go check it out. Of course, I'm still going to be casting Age of Empires 4 games. I'm not going to be leaving. But Scouring is good fun and definitely worth checking out if you're into playing some RTS games. The AI is like actually insanely good as well. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about what we got now because Cat is putting on the pressure early. Triple Palace Guards coming out. Deer going to get dropped off underneath the Ark and Chapel. Very nice boost. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Professional Scouts has come through. So we start to see Deer being brought back here for Cat as well. Obviously, just wants to make sure that the enemy isn't able to snipe those away. 4 Palace Guards out. Look at this. Beasty facing a lot of trouble early on in this game. Loss of gold. Loss of Deer. And of course, this is Arkan territory, so it makes it difficult. And I think, if anything, this is a huge advantage to Cat early on because you've just got Beasty on that back foot, right? You're gathering gold, you want to gather gold, and you can gather gold. But we don't see that out from Beasty, unable to hit this gold. Might even have to think about going to the back here, the way that this is going. And the outpost is up, but realistically, the outpost doesn't stop you from getting idled out by these Palace Guards, and there's so damn many of them. And look at him keeping them coming across the map. This is absolutely crazy, the amount of numbers that we're seeing here. And the scout now going to come out. Survival techniques comes through for Cat, and Cat could look to put on the hurt right now. If he can get behind this line without Beasty spotting it. So, he's going to go around the west side instead. Okay, which angle is he going for? It looks like he's going to try and stop the scouts on the hunts. No, just come back through once again. So my question is, where does he look for a Castle Age timing here? Because I feel like this is absolutely the timing for it. You've delayed your enemy on gold already quite a bit, so that's going to push them off balance. And this is absolutely the window for I tell you what, man, I'm loving this kind of Professional Scouts, Juicy Legacy Chinese openings. Like, these are just so crazy good. Can we check this Meditation Gardens, by the way? How much are we talking? 80? That's good. That almost looks like a pre-patch Meditation Gardens. Do you remember how good those Meditation Gardens used to be? So I think they got dimmed down a little bit from 8 tiles to 7 tiles, and then they knocked back the resources as well. So instead of like 30 gold a minute, you're getting 25 with the food as well. I think it's from like 8 a berry down to 6 a berry as well. So a couple of little differences that they made, but that is very impressive. Like you're talking, what is that? That's 114 somewhere in that region, 111 somewhere in that region. Nice little scout pick off here. Can he get it? Won't be able to find it 100%. Palace Guards against Men-at-Arms. So you're not going to take the fight here if you've got the Men-at-Arms, or if you've got the Palace Guards. You're just not going to win, right? You got 3 armor here, 3 melee armor on this side. But the big difference between you, actually, now that I think about it, there's really not that big of a difference. The early Palace Guard actually doesn't do too bad in this matchup. Once you get Castle Age, it's going to be a little bit harder, and upgrades start coming through. But if I remember correctly, so the Palace Guard won't actually... Will it get... I'm going to hold my tongue right now. I'm just going to wait and see. I always remember the Palace Guard having less armor, but maybe it was just always less ranged armor than the Men-at-Arms. But have a look at this. Beasty now committing hard to this. He knows the enemy could be looking to go Castle Age, and ding dong, it's time. The Shaolin Monastery is online. Double stable in the back, so could look to go straight into Lancer. Does actually get a couple of deer denying these carcasses off the backside. Now, Knights would be absolutely massive for him right now. Let's have a look and see if he's going to supervise those out. Regnitz Cathedral coming through the back. Still no Shaolin Monks coming out just yet for Cat either. So not looking to deny this asset at the moment. Prelate also, just the single Prelate. Hold on, what do we got here? We got a little bit of movement here over on this west side. More units starting to come up. Upgrades on the way. Has he actually got the veterancy? Yeah, we do have the veterancy on the Palace Guards. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's what I was thinking, right? The early Men-at-Arms has got 3 armor. That'll go to 4 in the Castle Age, whereas the Palace Guard goes from 3 melee 2 range to 3 melee 3 ranged. So it only gains a little bit of ranged armor. That's the main difference that you've got. So looks like Cat is going to be able to secure up both of these deer carcasses and makes his way on the way back. Beasty wants to avoid taking this fight at the moment. Men at arms, waiting for that upgrade. No arrow. No, he does have the arrow slits through here as well. And we do see a little bit of hurt now on that wall. It's just trying to cause a reaction from him. Prelate, I don't know exactly where it's gone. It's moved out over towards the west side. We can actually see he's going to be going for the closest relic. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, the Shaolin Monk will pick up the first one. And now, towards that front, Cat is going to look to try and take the fight. Interestingly, goes for ranged armor instead of going for melee armor. And interesting, Beasty going for +1 ranged attack. I got no idea what's going on with these guys. Like I said, both going to go into crossbows, so it kind of makes it a bit more sense. But this is... What is going? What are these guys doing? Ranged attack on Beasty and ranged armor on Cat? I genuinely don't understand what these pros are doing. Look, can somebody reasonably explain that to me? Like, why is Beasty getting +1 ranged attack? And why is his enemy getting +1 ranged armor when they're both full melee? Like, typically when it comes to armor, you're not proactive, you're reactive. You see the enemy and then you do that. But nonetheless, it looks like the hold is going to come through here for Beasty. Shouldn't be too difficult at all as he swoops in and cleans it out. So his +1 ranged attack is through. That's going to give him a little bit of a damage boost here on the town center as well. You know, you got an extra +1 arrow. But is that really it? Like you got +1 damage on arrow slits? That's not it. I'd be surprised if we see a single ranged unit out of this guy all game as he puts down an archery range. All right, well, let's check back towards the middle. Let's see how Cat's doing, because both players at the moment have 1 relic apiece. The second relic for Cat has just been picked up. It doesn't actually show on the UI. Hold on. Has he denied? Oh, yeah. Holy moly. He's denied that relic, denies this one. This could be 4-1 on the relics. I feel like I'm reciting, or not reciting, but I'm recounting a soccer scoreline, or football scoreline, as they are otherwise known. Beasty now going to come up empty-handed here, so really well played by Cat. Honestly, impressive. So Cat lost this fight, right? But he didn't lose the fight, because he gained in other areas. We saw him, the trade, the defense was successful from Beasty. But Cat behind it was picking up the relics. It was keeping Beasty in the base, was keeping him occupied, and that allows him to now not necessarily leverage the relics, because it's not so important that he collects the relics, but rather that he denies the relics. That's what's important. Holy, hold on. And just as we were talking about it, hold on, Beasty going to find a little bit of an intercept now, keeping up those football references here as the fumble comes through. Another Wololo. Knights, or rather Lancers and Palace Guards. Another Lance coming through. He swings one away from Cat. He's going to have to spend some resources to take it out of himself. Prelate looking to try and make it through on the back line. Nice little defense coming in. He does well. 2 more Prelates in the rear. Shaolin Monk coming up, looking to try and deny away this relic. But Beasty, he's got the heist. He's managed to make his way out. The great relic heist of 2025. And speaking of 2025, I think we're up to game number 9 now, if I remember correctly. It's I think we're at game number 9. I never know. At this point we could be on game number 13. I wouldn't have a clue. We're spitballing at the moment. He's gonna try and force the units back. Does a good job of it. Gonna lose the first one out. Might be losing a couple more. We'll have to sacrifice a couple of men at arms for it. And he takes down another prelate. He could easily pick this one up, but obviously he's got to wait for it to register in the mind. It can take some time. Wall's starting to come up for both players, so we see them looking to just kind of wall out. What's going on here? He did actually have the prelate ready on standby. Units were in position. He's going to look to try and push forward. Oh, the Shaolin. No. Shaolin Monk comes forward. A lot of crossbows in this mass as well. Both players, in fact, moving into the crossbow spam. 17 on the side of Cat, 9 on the side of the Beast. And we do see that second relic picked up. Hold on, did I just see a third relic? No, okay. Gosh, I thought I saw 2+1 for a sec. I was like, ain't no way, dude. Meanwhile, Beasty finds some use from this Lancer that was converted away from Cat. Sacred Site's now going to start getting picked up behind it. Walls coming in along that edge of the map. Market comes in as well. So let's talk a little bit about Cat's position. He's got a lot of bills on gold. He's got Imperial officials that are picking up gold as they go around the base. He's also got 3 relics now. Needs to pull these bills off gold and does correctly do so. 1,400 gold in the bank. And he's going to move into the Jiangnan Tower. So looking to move into that Song dynasty. We could potentially see a second town center out of him here. The other option is that he thinks about moving into a bit of a farm boom. I don't know if second TC... Does second TC make a lot of sense here? I think it does, actually, right? Because one of the things for Beasty, and this is a consideration to make, is that as the Holy Roman Empire, you typically want to be looking to get to Imperial Age. But I don't think Beasty's in a position to do that. He's been down a lot of this game. He doesn't have the relic advantage. He sits on 2 relics compared to the enemy's 3. And with the Regnits, you typically want at least 3. So there's a good chance that Beasty just looks at this and says, you know what? I don't think I can go Imperial. And that's something that often happens when you don't get the lion's share of the relics, because your enemy's got them, you've been denied them. So it's a massive swing against you. Each relic against you, it's not just that 160 resources that you're missing out from the relic that's being generated, because your enemy's also picked up a relic and they're gaining 80. So the spread is 240 for each one of these. So each one of these relics for Cat has got a value of about 240 resources. But it is going to be a second TC coming up for Cat. So I suspect that he thinks Beasty will be going Castle, rather Imperial, and he wants to just provide a little bit of, you know, he wants to make sure the gap doesn't get spread too thick between these two guys, and that definitely makes sense in this situation. The longer this goes on, though, the better it goes for him. And keep in mind that Beasty is not going to add a second TC, at least typically not going to add a second TC in the Castle Age, especially when you're going into Regnits, mainly just because you are looking for that Swabia Age up. So we'll have to wait and see what the play is for him. Normally, it's going to be an outpost on the back line that gets paired up with a cannon emplacement. And then that way you can deny any kind of push through from your opponent. One of the things that will be troubling for him, though, is because the Archon Chapel's on the front, if there is any aggression, his economy will be idled out significantly. Not only does he have this wood line here being buffed up by the Archon, but all of these farms. And because of that, he may feel more pressure to actually stay in the Castle Age to try and fight it out against his enemy. The question's going to be about whether that is the right call in the long run. We'll have to wait and see what the play is going to be. Men-at-Arms over towards that west side, now looking to get over in on the action. We'll ride on board here with Cat and see how he's doing. Keep in mind, he's got lots of food in the back of the base. A couple of it's been denied. A couple of these deer carcasses. We've got 3 back here. And a whole bunch of berries. But now, the sacred sites are well and truly being neutralized. Army numbers looking good for him. He's at 49 at the moment, despite that second town center. He's going to start pumping. One of the things that you do see, I was going to say, one of the things you do see is them put down a 3rd TC as the Juicy Legacy, and that's exactly what he's done. You've got a much lower entry to or barrier to entry as the Juicy Legacy because of the reduction on TC cost by that Song dynasty coming through from the Jiangnan Tower. And because of that, it just means that you can throw down that 3rd TC and really not feel the burn too much. But now let's check in on the other side and see how Beasty's doing, as he does look to get some stone walls up. Maybe looking to play a little bit of a longer game, perhaps. Stone walls, always welcome in the games I'm viewing. And you guys know I love a long game. I love a good long game, a hard yakka game. Let's see if we, how it looks to play out here. We'll ride on board with him and see if we can spot out anything interesting here. So we've actually got +2 range attack. No melee upgrades coming through. Dude, a melee upgrade's bugged? Like, does it just not show my melee upgrades on the thing? Because this has been a couple games where I've seen, like, Puppy Paw played a game for an hour, and he never got his melee upgrades. And I was like, did he just... Was my game just bugged and he did? Surely not. Anyway, we're seeing the same sort of thing happening here. Look, no melee armor. I mean, for Beasty right now, it makes sense, right? Not to have melee armor, because your enemy's completely ranged. But you've got some decent melee units in here. You've got spears, right? You can give them an extra, like, more than 10% attack. It's like, works out to be, what, 11.1, 11.2, somewhere in that region? It's a decent amount. Sacred Site now going to be capped. Over on this right side, Shaolin Monk, you can see it slowly working its way up. Over on the east, or rather on the west side, he gets it up as well. But now Crossbows going to be forced away from this. Too many spears here. He doesn't want to fight them head on. He wants to try and kite. Outpost probably going to get cancelled, at least denied, as the Vil's going to go down. And the kiting continues. Beasty with 30 crossbows, Cat with 31. And as long as Cat continues kiting, you'll never have to actually engage that full crossbow massive. You can see he is slowly losing away on it. All 3 sacred sites now going to be taken. And the numbers continue to fall. He's down to 20 crossbows at the moment. quite a lot of army on the side of Beasty, and Cat could be in trouble here. Beasty could look to put the hurt on. Now, this is a great opportunity for Beasty to go Imperial. This moment right here, you've just taken an insanely good fight up against your enemy. You force their numbers down. So there's two options for him. Number one, he can double down on Castle Age. So that would be like going into siege engineering here. Could mean, you know, he could translate those resources into tangible siege on the field very quickly. In the next 45 seconds, he could have those out. But instead, he's going to opt to try and take down this town center. There's not really a lot here to hold against it. 71 versus 29 at the moment. Beasty with a significant military advantage. The Vil count slightly in favor. I say slightly. I mean, Cat's up 24 Vils at the moment. So Beasty needs to try and translate, and there we do. There we go. We see the siege engineering coming through, and it's going to be a battering ram put down on the field. Upgrades also coming through. We've got the men-at-arms upgrade. Still the crossbows up against the crossbows. 34 against 17. Cat outnumbered by double, 2-1. But Beasty doesn't have a whole lot here on the front line. Are these guys just chilling all back? No, I don't know exactly what the play is. But now that battering ram should be able to put on some pressure. Now, Beasty needs to make sure he locates that secondary town center as well. Now, behind this, I think it's imperative that Beasty is honestly going Imperial. I feel like that's the big thing. Like, you can definitely, you could probably put on damage here and then just back it out. But even here, like, the numbers don't look that bad for Cat. On the top, they do, but down here on the defense, it doesn't look that terrible. Town Center's going to help out as well. And keep in mind, a lot of this is just kind of crossbows, so you're going to be A-okay underneath this TC. And Beasty's still yet to commit 100% here. Resource count at the moment. Let's check in with the income and get a bit of an idea on where they're at. 1,000, 1,700, 3,300, 3,400 for Beasty. On the side of Cat, 1,900, 2,500, 3,300, 3,500. So pretty even Stevens when it comes to the Vil count. Look, oh, Beasty's actually going all in. I think he's trying for a kill shot right now. This has got to be it. You can see he's got men-at-arms rallied around the backside. Let's see whether Cat spots this. He does. Beasty's going to be looking to see what he can spot and whether there's anything valuable that he could be looking to try and take out. He will spot a couple of villages there, and we could see him move in that direction. Sacred Site's now going to start being capped as well. We did see him take the central one. The eastern one's getting taken as well. And he's just demonstrating. I mean, this is how you do it, right? Beasty just classic double down play. Says, we're going all in. Still got plenty of units coming through in queue. Look at this 6 Lanch connector. He says, that gold drongo, it's not going towards Imperial Age. It's going towards the kill. He's going into mass Lanch connector here. 6 of them in total. Men-at-arms. He does actually find this town center over on the east side. He could back around and come through and look to hit this angle. Honestly, that's the play I'd be looking to make, but he's got to try and commit hard right now. Beasty taking down Cat's base. Cat in a whole lot of trouble here. Outpost is up. He's got the Springled emplacement as well. There's a chance Beasty actually takes all of the relics. Oh, this would be massive. He comes in, snipes out the Shaolin Monastery. Does he have prelates coming up? Does he have prelates coming up? He does. He's got prelates moving up. He knows exactly what he wants. The heist is coming through. Beasty right now is looking to steal away every single darn relic from his enemy's base. He's only got the one prelate that's up here at the moment. Needs to find additional sources of relic carrying revenue. Let's see exactly what he's going to be able to do, though. But look at the numbers here, still for Cat. I mean, I feel like Beasty's army is kind of getting whittled down. Like the combination of the town center together with the Springled emplacement, but the Springled emplacement will be going down shortly. Double battering rams are on it. Now moving forward, where are those prelates? How many does he have out on the field? He's got 4 on the field at the moment. We still don't see any more coming through. The relics are about to drop. I mean, if you wanted to play pixel perfect right now, you'd have 3 prelates here going boink, 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 and taking them all the way, boinking them back to the main base. That's what you'd really be doing. But I think maybe the town center or the Springled emplacement was sniping out those prelates, because we did see one come in over on this side. Okay, there's 2 that are coming through now. Do we have that 5th one? The Great Relic Heist appears to be successful, and I mean, at this point in the game, you'd have to pretty much just say it's very hard for Cat to come back from this. And sure, he's got the high villager count, but at the end of the day, I mean, Beasty's just done so much damage here. And the fact that he's regained the relics is significant, but at the same time, he's lost quite a bit of tempo from that. Interesting that he's going for main TC. I would have thought secondary TC would make more sense. I don't know if you take this. The Vils are just going to get there in time. Yeah. The Vils are just going to siege this down. You don't get this TC. And I mean, yeah, if you do, like, it definitely hurts the enemy, but these Vils, I mean, I guess we've got God vision. We knew the Vils were coming, right? So maybe that's the difference. But you can kind of expect that the Vils are coming. You're in the enemy's base. You got a lot of battering rams. Okay, so overall, Vil count Still 20 vills ahead for Cat, but remember, Beasty's now taken 2 of the relics. So Beasty's up 4 relics, and those are Holy Roman Empire relics. So that's now, it's the equivalent of 8 real relics. So he's on 6,004. And there's the Imperial Age. Swabia coming through. Now, this is really key in this position. Need to find cannon emplacements on these outposts. So you can see how he's got springwood emplacements. It's not going to be enough because one of the things you got to be really careful right now of is the juicy tempo. He was on 3 TCs for quite a while. He built up a decent Vil lead. There is no reason why something like this can't just explode right now, especially being in the Castle Age. So we'll have to see exactly how Cat looks to play it, but from the Beastie perspective, I think realistically all you do in this situation, you can't really play into mangoes, can you? Yeah, it's hard. You can't just go mango anymore. I was going to say drop down a whole bunch of Raxes and just go mass men-at-arms. You know what you could do? A whole bunch of Raxes, but go mass spear. I think that's probably the play, because mass spear does very, very well. There is Jukuno on the side, though, of Cat. Maybe men-at-arms spear. Maybe that works. Swabia is online, though, and 25 minutes into the game, a little bit late. You know, we needed our relics, but we finally made it. Now the push, the counter push is coming out from Cat. Beastie in the north of the map. Looking to hold it down for the moment. He's got a nice little combo going here. Men-at-arms together with the Lance Connector, looking for a little bit of spin to win. Barracks on the front. Yeah, questionable positioning, but it's okay. There's plenty of room back here, though. Do not fret, my friend. He'll look to put those down. Swabia. Swabia's in a bit of an awkward spot. Honestly, I don't really like this Swabia spot, just because the wood line here is already thin so much. Like, somewhere back here. And sure, you're going to delay it, right? Because if you're building it with, you know, 10 vills or 20 vills from here, and you're going to run all the way back here, and then you're going to come back. But if you lose this, like, things are going to go real bad. Do we have any cannon emplacements through? That's not a... That right there is an arrow slit. That's just a springwood emplacement. That's a springwood... This is like... I feel like this is a big mistake, because he's got the resources to do it, but like an outpost right here with a relic and a cannon cannon emplacement on it literally just holds this by itself. Like, you can't even contest it. The cannon emplacement just kills it all. And you could have had that, like, a minute ago. So I feel like that's a very slight... Siege shot, workshop, okay. Keep in mind, we do have the emergency repairs on the defense for Beastie. The numbers are getting thinned here, though. Look at the kiting that is coming out from Cat right now. Beastie's not really... Like, and that's the problem. By not having that cannon emplacement, you've got to send units to the front. Beastie sends all of the units to the front. They're just kind of dying right now. What is the go right here? Okay. Bringing up the Shaolin. He's got the Shaolin monk with the relic. He's like, yep. Oh, is he? Oh. I think he's intentionally using this to say, like, you can't challenge me. If like, a whole bunch of horsemen or something came up, or maybe some men-at-arms? Is that the play? Maybe that's the play. Now, one of the things I haven't mentioned is the drink of the evening. And that's because I haven't had a drink this evening, or at least in this cast. I'll let you guess. It's water. It's water, baby. It's water. It's the S tier. It's not. That's not S tier. That's closer to B tier. It's not lukewarm. It's room temperature. Cannon emplacement, please click it. Thank you. Cannon emplacement's through. Let's chuck a relic in this bad boy as well, shall we, Beastie? Get a bit more range going on it. We do have a prelate on standby nearby. And now, I mean, position-wise, I think Beastie's pretty decent. He's got Swabia, he's got 4 relics. The only thing he doesn't really have is tempo. And normally in this matchup, that's what you've got. In this matchup, you typically have a very high tempo advantage because you take the relics ahead of the enemy. What is going on here? Can we just talk about this? Wow, that is impressive. Yeah, so I think that's the biggest issue, is that you don't have that tempo advantage. He's going to bring another relic forward inside the outpost. Now, keep in mind, he does have access to a whole bunch of cool techs here. But he'll be wanting to try and repair this keep up. How many trebs have we got? We got triple treb. I just realized. Have a look at this. Beastie is half of the army of Cat. And I think it was like this kind of trade. And this trade is just simply happening because we don't have that cannon. Oh, excuse me. We don't have that cannon emplacement that we were talking about. All right, a little bit of a mix up here. Tight buns now coming through for Beastie. Vil advantage still rests with his enemy. Palace Guard's going to spot out some Vils just chilling over on the east side. He was looking to pick up, try and steal away the enemy stone. Not going to be happening, that is for sure. Quadruple Treb. Now, he should be able to hold... The problem is you can't hold this forever. It's too much resources, 4 Trebs. But we do now start to see Cat pushing through here. 29 minutes into this game. Keeper's got emergency repairs about to come through. It's at 1600 health. He'll hit that emergency repairs button. A little bit of an attack on the backside. Not sure exactly what the plan is on that back front. Hand cannoneers starting to come out through. Elite Lance Connector have been upgraded. Veteran Spearman, Elite Men at Arms. All the elite upgrades are through. Cat is fighting against elite units. Nest of Bees comes out as well. And look at the amount of damage that it's soaking up here. Takes 3 rounds from all these ranged units, and it finally goes down. Cannon emplacement firing off throughout this battle. You can hear how much damage it's doing. Really got those oomph going. 1100 stone in the bank. He could try and repair this. The problem is I don't think you can out-repair these 4 traps. I mean, you probably could if you brought enough vills. He's going to try and commit for it. If he can get back to the emergency repairs in 30 seconds, he can keep it alive a little longer. But if the keep dies, Beasty dies. If the keep dies, Beasty dies right now. Look at the population advantage the Cat's got. We've already talked about the tempo difference that occurred a little bit earlier and the fact that Cat denied that tempo advantage, and as the keep falls, Beasty now scrambles to defend here. There's no secondary cannon emplacement on an outpost. It is just Cat running it down mid. He's got full control. All 3 sacred sites taken. 8 minutes on the timer. Vill count advantage still rests. The second town center was never actually taken down, so he's managed to do a decent job. He's also taken out vills all over the map, so the economy factor isn't even that big. He's maxed. He's maxed. He's literally maxed. He's 200 out of 200. And he's inside Beasty's base, killing his dudes. Beasty on the defense now. We see the Culve starting to come out. That's going to be the one way he thinks about getting back into it. But the truth is that cannon emplacement was by far the best way to do it. I don't even know if he can come back from here. I don't think it's possible. I don't think he's got... Unless, maybe Mangoes. Mangoes might actually do it. Actually, now that I think about it, Mangoes 100% would be the way to do it. It's just such a big investment, and you can't get there in time. That's the problem that you've got. Vill's on the backside going to look to evac out. Beasty with only a handful of units. This is it. Cat's actually going to... How did Cat take this? He lost all of his relics, dude. All the relics literally got stolen except for 1. Beasty had 4 of the relics regained. And yet somehow, Cat manages to pull this one off. Look at this. 74-3. Like, there's no miracle here. It's... Okay. Hold. The Culverin. No, he's just going to focus the vills down. The infinite healing on the Culverin only lasts as long as the villagers does. Unfortunately for the Culverin. All right, well, I mean, at this point in the game, we've got the Temple of the Sun going to be coming through now. Where is that one coming through? Might be coming through on the front. Here it is. Temple of the Sun coming in, and... Oh, that's going to be it. Beasty just tapping out right there, and look, you gotta appreciate that. Incredible play there by Cat. Despite losing all of that army in the mid game and losing those relics, he held on and he did well. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Go check him out. I'll leave links in the description, and we will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.